All right, High Rollers, really excited about this chat today. He's a brand new face on the PDC Pro Tour, just 21, and already has a few major scalps on his resume. In 2015, he reached the final of the BDO World Youth Championship. This past year, made the quarters of the PDC World Youth Championship, and then promptly won his tour card on the very first day of Q School. This past weekend, posted 2 good runs in Wigan, reached the round of 32 on Saturday, then the last 16 on Sunday at Players Championship 8. He is sponsored by Unicorn, represented by our good friends at MDA Promotions, and his nickname suits him well. Big H, Harry Ward is with us. Harry, appreciate your time, man. Thanks for being our high roller today.
Oh, no problem. I'm looking forward to chatting with you. I'm at work at the minute, but I've got time for anyone like this, so it's great.
Yeah, I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy. First off, well done in Wigan. A couple of good runs, good wins under your belt. Tell us about Players Championship 7 and 8. Obviously, you were feeling quite comfortable.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it at the minute. Playing better people week in, week out is definitely bringing my game on. So that's always a positive. But, it's a strange feeling because I know I'm playing well, but I'm still not playing my A game. So I'm looking forward to the A game coming out, and hopefully that will happen soon.
Well, you've definitely had spurts. Now, I caught your last 16 match on the live stream. Jan Decker got the best of you there. One of the things you must be adjusting to with life on the Pro Tour is the exposure, right? You're streamed out to the world on Sunday. Do you like that, or does that take some getting used to?
Oh, it will take some getting used to, definitely. But it's nice to know that I'm playing in front of, it's not really a crowd in the room, but, on the stream, people are watching. It adds that little bit of pressure, but, that pressure's good. I didn't perform very well on Sunday on the stream. I lost 6-0, but it's coming to terms with that, trying to get used to that, and playing week in, week out, I'll get used to it and improve, definitely.
I'll tell you what, it's tough to get to that spot, the top 16. It's cutthroat out there these days.
Oh, yeah, it is. I had a couple of really good wins. I got Joe Cullen, first game, a great player in the top 16 in the world, and managed to win that 1-6-5, so it was a great start to the day, confidence booster. And then playing Dimitri in the last 32. I played him before on the youth tour, never in like a senior PDC event, and managed to get the better of him there, hitting a few 180s on the way.
Yeah, a couple of big names right there. Now, we had your manager, Matthew Ward, on the show right after Daryl Gurney won the Players' Championship. He was talking about you. A couple of things that he said about you stood out to me. This is a direct quote, that you are either ridiculously good or very poor. Now, there's no doubt the poor days are going to be punished on the PDC. I mean, these guys are so good. But on the upside, the label of being ridiculously good suggests that you have the game to compete with anybody. The talent is there. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
Oh, it is, definitely. Matt's always said that to me. I think it's quite funny, actually. But, last year, towards the end of last year, I was so inconsistent. But like you said, my great games were real great games, and my poor games were really poor. And this year, I've changed my mindset a bit, relaxed a bit more, and the poor games aren't coming as much, and the good games seem to be coming thick and fast. So it's going uphill at the minute. Yeah,
consistency is the key, right? Are you working on that? How do you do that? Is it just the time at the board, or are there other things that you're doing to try to improve that?
Oh, definitely, practice helps. I've been practicing more since getting my tour card because I know I want to make the most of the 2 years on the tour. But, there's a lot of it in your mind as well. Last year I was trying too hard, playing on the development tour. That's a different mindset as well because at the Pro Tour, you can play a game, and every game you're going to have to average about 90 to at least get anywhere near anyone. And on the youth tour, there's players that you can play against, and they average in the 60s, and it's hard to get psyched up for games where you probably are going to win. It's so different, so the mindset is you've got to have the right mindset to compete, definitely.
Yeah, you got to be confident. That's a big thing. Now, I saw a graphic where you are one of the leaders, so it's been a good start when it comes to hitting maximums. You seem to be prolific at hitting that red bit, but I also saw a tweet of yours where you admitted you needed some work on the doubles.
Oh yeah, that's always been my downfall. Not so much this year. I think my finishing's improved. That's probably why I've improved because my scoring has always been there, the 180s, the 140s. But I just put it down to relaxing a bit more and definitely practicing more. When I practice, I mostly practice my doubles and my finishing because I know that the scoring is coming without really practicing that. So, a bit more practice on the doubles this year, it's helped, but I can still improve, definitely, and I will improve.
In our interview with Matthew Ward, he also said that, and this was before you won your tour card, that you've been playing darts a long time and maybe needed a break to recharge a bit. You reached the quarters of the World Youth Championship, and then you come through qualifying school. Sounds like you've recharged.
Yeah, and I put that down to just forgetting about darts for a little bit. The quarterfinal of the World Youth came at a weird time, really, because I didn't feel like I was playing too well. And obviously I was happy to have that run. But when I broke up from work in December, about the 20th of December, I think, until the 8th of January, I had a long break off work. I forgot about darts completely and hardly picked my darts up. And I had just a few weeks off and then recharged, ready for Q School. And I think that helped, definitely.
Well, let's talk about Q School. That must have been a very exciting time for not only you, but your family. The day you won your tour card, you walk in there on day one and you pick it right up. I mean, that gives you a real chance to make something on the PDC.
Yeah, that's the greatest feeling I've ever had, honestly. It was awesome. I just had, like I said, I relaxed into going into Q School and everything just seemed to happen on that day. I was taking out big finishes at the right time. And I got better throughout the day as well. My averages kept getting better and better. I played a great guy in Mark McGean in the final game and knew I had to play well and had a 103 average, I think. So just knowing that top game's there when under pressure as well, it spurred me on for the rest of the year. My family, they're so supportive and they were really happy too. So it was great. It was just a great weekend.
Well, you talked about Dimitri, Joe Cullen, and Mark McGeaney. I mean, the Gladiator final at the Lakeside, that's a big scalp too. Each win you get like this, that's got to add some confidence and say to yourself, hey, I can do this.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The Players' Championship 1, I drew Simon Whitlock first game and, I knew it was a tough draw, but I just thought to myself, he's under more pressure than I am because no one expects me to win. He's seeded 10 or whatever he was seeded, and I just thought, just relax. And again, just relaxing. Everything seemed to go in. And I got to the quarterfinal, so it was a great start to the year. And that from there has built my confidence up, and hopefully it'll continue throughout the year.
Now, I mentioned the cameras on the PDC, the live stream, the bigger tournaments. You're probably getting recognized more nowadays. What are some of the things besides the recognition that you've had to deal with on the circuit? I imagine there's some changes for you, right? Travel, schedules, things like that?
Yeah, they're long days as well and doing it every weekend. Luckily, I've got a very supportive dad. I work with my dad and he supports me having time off work and it's just such a change because I was playing last year probably once, at most twice a month in the Challenge Tour and the Youth Tour. And now this weekend coming up is my first weekend off since the start of February. I am looking forward to having the weekend off, but it's not like I don't enjoy the darts. I'm loving playing week in, week out because it's improving my game. And, that's what the PDC want. They want it to be like they are a professional corporation. They want people to think they are professionals when they're playing in it. So for me, and hopefully one day, playing week in, week out, I'll be able to back in my job and do it full time as well.
Yeah, I think you will, man. I think you're on the right path. And each weekend, you mention it, you're playing these big guns, the big names of the sport. So you're getting that opportunity to hone your skills. And one thing it seems to me on the PDC right now, a lesson to be learned for all is that you can't miss, right? Or else you lose.
Yeah, that's right. There's legs where you can hit. I've hit 2 180s in the leg on the Pro Tour and set up a finish. I did it against Gerwin Price as well, actually. You're setting up finishes after 12 darts and they're checking out. So it's cutthroat. You cannot miss anything. But that's good. It makes you play better. It makes you concentrate. So it's good to play in, but it can be harsh as well.
Who are some of the players that you pal around with on the tour? Who are some of the guys you like?
Oh, mainly the NBA lads, like Daryl Gurney. So, if you're saying he's one of the top 5 players in the world, he's so down to earth. So laid back. Same with I share with Jamie Hughes. Such a laid back character, great to be around. and James Richardson, Ted Everts, just great people. I like being around people, relax as well, and they just get on with it. Being with a good crowd helps you as well.
Yeah, you mentioned Jamie Hughes, and you came through Q School on the same day, the first day this year.
Yeah.
That must have been very nice.
Oh, that was brilliant. Matt Ward was very happy as well. We're sharing room together this year on the tour. We're great friends, and both similar characters. It helps towards the darts as well. So we've both got a good end of the stick, and so has Matt Ward as well.
Yeah, you mentioned how important it is to be surrounded by good people. That brings me to MDA Promotions, Unicorn. Yeah. We're going to talk MDA first. Good stable, right? You mentioned Super Chin, Jamie Hughes, James Wilson, Benito, Nathan Rafferty, among others. I mean, that's good company right there. And you've got some valuable learning lessons from those players as well.
Oh, definitely. Even young Nathan, he's so good at his age. I mean, he's a couple years younger than me. He's great to watch, but being around all of them. I played James Wilson this year. He was great to play against. He's horrible playing that game, but even picking up wins like that and giving you advice, it's unbelievable. Just saying how last year, towards the end of last year, I was getting fed up with the game, but it's changed around, and I'm really enjoying it now.
And, of course, you've been signed by Unicorn. You talk about one of the best brands in the game, right? Unicorn. Definitely. If you want to be with the best, you got to play with the best, right?
Too right, yeah. Unicorn have been helpful. I love their equipment, love the darts they've made for me. It's the longest I've actually played with a set of darts for in my life. When I was younger, I used to change every week. I was a bit like Peter Wright, to be honest. But, Unicorn have made me a great set of darts, and they seem to be working for me. I know a lot of people that have bought them around, like, say, my area, local leagues and that. And, Unicorn, getting a signing like that spurred me on a bit as well because, Unicorn's a great company and they recognise me, so I thought I must be doing something right.
Yeah, I think you are, man. I got to ask you about Snakebite because you brought it up. You said you used to change your darts quite a bit. Now you're sticking to the same darts for a while. What are your thoughts on what Peter Wright does? He does tend to switch it up.
Oh, I can't really say much because is he third in the world, I think? I think if you're that good, you can play with any set of darts as long as your mind's right. And, fair play to the guy. He's quality. Not many people. I don't think a lot of people could do what he does, but no matter what darts he's using, I wouldn't like to join him first round or whenever, really.
Listen, I got to ask you about goals on the PDC. You've got a 2-year tour card, a real chance to do something. You mentioned making darts a full-time profession for yourself. I guess that's right up there for 2019 and beyond. What are some other goals? The bigger events, I guess? I know ET1 is on right now, but what are your goals for this year and next?
This year, my goal at the start of the year, I was speaking with Matt, my manager, was to get to Ali Pali. That's the initial goal in the Players' Championship finals as well, which I've made a good start in. They're the two this year I want to qualify for. And then next year, just qualify for as many TV tournaments as I can, more Euro tours, because this year I've lost in all 4 qualifiers so far. And just keep building that money up. That's the main aim.
Well, you're doing a good job of it so far, man. Good runs this past weekend. You're playing well. I really like your action, and I think you've got a real chance. So young, 21. You've already been to the last 64 of the UK Open. By the way, what is that tournament like? It seems like it's one of the most exciting ones to be a part of, right, as a player?
Yeah, it's great to be in, because the back room's so similar to like a pro tour because it's all the boards next to each other, but they're on a stage of themselves, their own, and having a crowd there as well. It's nice to play in front of the crowd. It's a weird atmosphere, but a good atmosphere, and I'm glad that I'm definitely there next year, having a tour card for 2 years. So I look forward to that again. I really like Minehead.
Well, I really appreciate your time today. I know you're at work. We'll let you go. But listen, man, continued success. Good luck as you charge towards Alexandra Palace. I think you're going to make it. Big H, Harry Ward, at Harry Ward 180 on Twitter. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much for the time. It's been brilliant. Thank you.